Hey everyone, and welcome back to another King Arthur Legends Rise video. So, the new patch has been out for at least 12 hours, 24 hours. I don't know when you're watching this, but it's really good. I'm really happy about this patch. I'm really excited about the stuff that they entered. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it. We're going to talk about the new hero. We're going to talk about clan wars. We're going to talk about the hard forbidden dungeon. And they even made some changes to the arena shop. So we're going to go over all of those things. First thing first, though, I'm going to do this quick 10 pop and see what we get. Just rares, okay. And an Accolon. That actually might not be that bad. Okay, so the new hero that they released is Ceres. We're going to talk about Ceres because Ceres actually changes up the PvP meta. Now, I think a lot of people probably don't care about PvP, but I think it's very important for the whales. And the whales are important to this game, guys. If you guys are free to play or very low spend, the whales are what keep the developers making new content. And PvP is going to be a big one. Now, they're releasing clan versus clan. We've got it. We're going to talk about clan wars here in a second. But this hero really shakes up the PvP meta for a couple of reasons. We're going to talk about her kit, and then we're going to talk about, well, the big reason why she shakes it up. Her kit's good, and the kit is the main reason why she shakes up the meta, but also another thing. Okay, so first things first, her passive. Anytime an ally of yours attacks, she gains this buff, which is a boost to her effect accuracy by 10%. This is not on a cooldown. So anytime an ally attacks, this happens. And she's going to grant Serpent's favorite allies effect resistance 1 for 2 turns. This is very good. Very, very good. Now, this is at Chivalry 10. If we bust her down to Chivalry 1, we'll take another look at it here. So this is all the same still. So a very strong passive 1. Then, her second passive says when using skill 1, but one of her chivalries turns this into whenever you use a skill. So that's going to be a very key chivalry. It removes all of these, and then if you have 3 or more of those removed, it's going to 100% remove 2 enemy buffs. And then you'll also charge all of your Serpent favorite allies' attack gauge by 20%. And this is on a 2-turn cooldown. Now, you can actually upgrade this like removal to not just remove 2 buffs, but you end up doing damage. Like you explode the buffs. It's really cool. I like how they kind of did that. So we'll bump this back up to 10, and I'll show you what that reads like. So when using a skill, if you have 3 or more of these, it removes them. And then whenever it's removed, you trigger buff explosion on each enemy. So it detonates all active buffs and damages them. It's really cool. I like that design. So pretty neat. And then her third passive says at the start of the battle, 100% chance to grant each ally pain connection debuff. And whenever they are inflicted with a debuff, it just flips it right back. It bounces it back right to them. So if they put a defense down and damage taken debuff on you, like from Morgan, it reflects it right back to her. You also have a 100% chance to grant each ally Twist of Fate, which is whenever you're inflicted with a debuff, you are then removing that debuff. So this is all chivalry upgraded. But I do kind of want to talk about her at her max potential, because when we're talking about a PvP hero, I think you're talking about whale status. This is something that is only for endgame because most of us don't really care about PvP. But I do want to mention this. So whenever she's fully upgraded, she bounces back debuffs, but as they're bouncing it back, you're then removing them on your own, which is really awesome. 100% chance to grant each ally attack gauge decrease immunity. Also very strong against Morgan. And then 100% chance to grant Kaleidoscope Blessing to the ally with the lowest HP. So this thing is nuts. So the Blessing itself makes you take 50% less damage. So that's already huge. And then whenever that person is hit, it reflects 200% of the damage taken back. So you take damage and then 200% of it gets reflected right back to the person that dealt damage to them. The hero that has this, which is your lowest HP hero, most likely your damage dealer, they'll then gain attack increase 1, and then they grant mirror image to a random ally. So you get hit while you have Kaleidoscope Blessing, you reflect the damage, you get attack increase, and then you put this buff on a random one of your allies. So then this falls off, and then they get a weaker version of this. Just a very, very cool kit. I like this hero because it's very unique. It's not like something like Gilroy, where it's just like, oh, here's another heal reduction hero, or it wasn't like Vivian's, just like, oh, here's someone who removes DOTs. This is a brand new concept, which is what I like. So then her skills on her baseline relic, which is Wind. Her skill 3 on this has a 100% independent chance to grant each ally attack gauge decrease immunity. So she can put that up as well if you don't have this thing fully upgrade, where she gets the attack gauge decrease immunity. She then also has a 100% chance to inflict attack decrease 1 on each enemy for 2 turns. So everyone's getting attack decrease 1, and then she has a 100% chance to remove 2 buffs from each enemy, and she charges the vigor by 1. So it's basically a 2 vigor skill. This is really good. Really good. We'll come back to this. Second skill, 100% chance to grant Reflection State to one ally for 1 turn. So upon being hit, it applies a status that deals a set proportion of damage received to the target who attacked. So this is just like reflect damage. So you grant that to somebody on her skill 2, and then they're going to reflect the damage back. Perseverance. This is one of those things that if you're about to take fatal damage, you just don't take damage. And it's based on a certain amount of turns. This one is for 1 turn. And then she also has a chance to inflict attack decrease 1 on each frost enemy. So another way to add another type of attack decrease, and then her first skill is just damage that scales off of her effect accuracy, which is whatever. You're really never going to be using this skill. You're just going to be using her for all of these additional buffs. So why is she good, right? First of all, I think you guys could tell by something like this, where the attack gauge decrease immunity, this is awesome to each of your ally. The big thing with the PvP meta right now is one of 2 things. It's Morgan outspeeding everybody and using her skill 2 to decrease and push back everyone's attack gauge, and then the rest of the team goes. And then the second person who's just destroying the meta is Anya. And also on this skill, it has a 100% chance to remove 2 buffs from each enemy, and it doesn't hit anyone. So she's actually going to go in there and remove the counterattack buffs from Anya and all of those crazy buffs that Anya gives, along with critical strike damage. And you're basically going to go in there and be able to, I guess, outspeed the rest of the team if all they have built is Morgan. And if they're using a slow counterattack team, you can just bring in Ceres here, and she's just going to clear all of those buffs off of the Anya and all of those other heroes that they bring in, and you're just going to be able to basically cleave those teams. The big question was how fast was she? Because Morgan was the fastest hero in the game, and Morgan is 130 speed. Well, Ceres makes Morgan look like a turtle. She's 142 speed. She's real zippy. And she's also in the Serpent favor, which I had mentioned on Keepsakes. You can actually get one of those blue stats as speed. So, yeah, really, really strong. She also has this weird leader effect that I've never seen anyone else have. Most people just get some kind of attack speed, but she also gains future victory for the rest of the battle. Now, this is only in Arena and Clan War, but she has a 50% chance to trigger when an ally attacks. She attacks someone, and it's just scaled off of her effect accuracy then. So it's weird. Like, she doesn't even need to attack, because when someone attacks, she has a 50% chance to just, like, co-op attack with them. Very odd. But, yeah, I love this hero. I don't think this is a hero for everybody, but I think this hero is fantastic for Arena. Shakes up the meta, which is what you want in a new hero. You know, you don't want someone that's gonna just absolutely break one of these dungeons, and if you pull this hero and you chivalry 10 them, it's super easy and everyone else is stuck on PvE. I think the PvE stuff should be easily accessible with some of the free heroes that they give you, whether it's legendaries or not, and then you should be able to clear the rest with rares. So the legendary itself is really, really strong. The game is selling her other relics, which I'm not going to go into because I haven't reviewed them enough, and this isn't a video about her. It's about everything. So I just wanted to talk about her real quick and say I actually think she's a really solid hero. She's great for Clan Wars, obviously, but I thought she was really good for the PvP meta, so that was exciting. So another update that they made in this is in the Arena shop, they actually allow you to now get 500 stamina. It used to be just 100, and they decreased the amount of coins that it takes. So you have so much incentive now to farm Arena, because 500 stamina goes a long way. That was really needed. That was a great, great add. On top of that, they added a hard mode of the Forbidden Dungeon. This is really great. So it's even more rewards, and it's even more PvE content to do as well. So the whales got some content in Clan Wars, and then, you know, the dolphins free-to-players, they also have something else to now strive to, which is the Forbidden Dungeon in hard. So even more rewards, right? Even more rewards. You also get different tokens. So they have a different shop in here now. So the Forbidden Dungeon hard shop, they have a legendary relic shard ticket, which is great. More flame relic summon tickets, which is also awesome. More pedestals. This was so needed. Additional pedestals are great. So not only, I mean, I'm sure you're going to be able to farm them like you do in normal mode, but on top of that, you also get additional pedestals that you can get 20 additional more per month. They also have the selection chests in here. The selection chests are great. We've talked about specific characters where the chivalries need to be, really prioritized. So this can certainly go a long way. I know a lot of people are going to be bummed that this is in the hard shop and not in the normal shop, and I agree. That is a bit of a bummer. I think they should have at least put the rare talisman selection chests in there, but even those aren't that hard to get. So I think prioritizing to get to hard mode to really farm up those materials are going to go a long way. I'm going to start making videos on the Forbidden Dungeon. So I'm on 32 right now. However, up to 32, I think it's really easy to just farm with like pure damage dealers. I basically just took Cormac in here and auto farm this stuff. So really, really strong. Strong update here with adding the hard forbidden dungeon. I really like it. Now, these events, they really need to fix these. These hero event dungeons that they release are just absolutely ridiculous. They're so I think they're so overtuned, and you can't really farm this stuff reliably to even take advantage of the event shop. And there are some good things in here. Like, now that I have started to get some really easy, nice teams down with rares and specific legendaries, my key focus is no longer these items or even summon up tickets. This one I kind of care about. The legendary mastery stones, though, I don't care about that as much. I care way more about this frost relic and this storm relic for lot, because these are the hardest things in the game to get. So if you can get these from events, I think that will end up being worth it. I think if you're early to mid-game, you really don't want to waste coins on this. You want to be getting rare mastery memory stones, legendary mastery memory stones, the rate-up summon tickets, stuff like that. I don't think you should prioritize these. But when you're closer to the end game, your teams are formulated, this is what you'll end up going for. On top of that, they did put out, I just have to mention this crazy offer, 20,000 crystals for $50. I thought was really good. It's interesting that they're starting to sell gear now. They're selling gear, which don't buy this. This is bad. They're also selling rare relic packages for $10. Guys, just wait. You can find this in the relic shop. You'll eventually find Rosiere's fire relic. Do not do that. And then they also started putting out they put out both of the relics for the new heroes. So you can't pull the relics, which I think is a little scummy, but they are selling them, which is why I didn't even feature the relics today. And then they also added new packages. So they added a second arena tier package, I think. I'm pretty sure this is new. All of these tier packages, these are probably the best value items in the entire game. You just get so many summons, or you get so many gems. Like, this is where you should spend your money if you're going to spend it, which I don't think you should. But if you do, that's where you should, along with the champion pass. Those are the best things in there. But yeah, so they did add those things, which is very interesting. Now, let's talk about the big one. The big one is Clan Wars. This looks like a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I'm actually really excited about this. I really like the setup. The setup is super cool. You have your castle. You have a bunch of these different routes that you can take as, the opposing team. And as we kind of thought, each of these footholds, they're calling them, have a global buff. So the global buff for this clan war is going to be effect resistance. So all of these footholds get effect resistance. So they'll get that increased by 5%. This is huge for Anya, obviously. But on this foothold, specifically, you also get an evasion rate increase. So this is awesome to put in heroes like Kay. Kay gets that crazy buff, the golden boar thing that we talked about in the chivalry video, where her evasion is awesome. The more she evades, the more buff she gets, and then the more she gets to take additional turns. So, this setup is really cool because it lets you really customize the type of defenses that you want. On top of that, you can move footholds. You can move the footholds around. Like, if I wanted to switch this speed foothold to the front, I could. So you can put some really strong defenses up front to not even let them get to the back corner here. Or if I want my strongest defenses to be guarding my castle, I think that's awesome. So you can see here underneath the foothold, you get additional points for like beating it. So some footholds are worth more than others, and then the castle is worth the most. If you take down the castle, it's you just win, right? So that's something unique. On top of that, they also have this proximity buff. So this is adding another layer of strategy to this game mode where, let's say you have someone that benefits from HP and effect resistance, but they don't benefit from the defense. Maybe if you move them up to this spot, maybe they'll get a bonus based on the proximity buff. Like this proximity buff's crazy, 10% crit rate. You get 2 proximity buffs. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Depending on your points from this war, you can get, additional summon tickets, you can get additional resources. All of those things are really great. The rewards for this thing, I think, are pretty decent. I don't know, I kicked me out. Yeah, so the reward info. So during the war, you can get these currency tokens. You can be the MVP. You even get a summon ticket just for participating. The season rewards are obviously very good. 50,000 of these tokens are great. And then you also have league rewards. So these are like huge. This is what the whales are going to be gunning for. Rank 1, rank 10, all of these people. This is where the money's going to come in. And then they also have a shop as well. So even more legendaries, legendary mastery, summoning stones. You get relic summon tickets. You get a reset token, more pedestals, more stamina. Like, it just an amazing, amazing patch. I love it. They added tons of things. The one or two downsides of this patch, just to not be a homer and be a little bit negative, is there is a cool thing here where you can upgrade. Like you can enhance this. However, it costs steel and wood and gold. Like, we are already so strapped for this, and to upgrade this even more or use these resources for even more things, oh man, that is a bummer. I gotta say, that is certainly a bummer. I do not like that. I think they should have had like individual resources for this. That you got whenever you won a clan war. That was such an easy win and an easy dunk. I don't know why they didn't do it. But yeah, and then the last thing is I'd really like to see them start adding rares and uncommons. I just don't want legendary heroes. I like this hero, but I want other uncommons and rares to play around with. So yeah, that's basically all I got, guys. That's what I wanted to say. Are you excited about the new patch? I'm loving this thing. I hope you're excited. I think this is the type of patch that they needed to reinvigorate a little bit of, excitement around the game, and it gives, those whales something to do, and it gives us, common players an additional form of PvE in the Forbidden Dungeon. So yeah, let me know your comments below, guys. I appreciate you watching. Catch you on the next one. See ya.